All right, let's get right to it. We're going to talk about groups and grouping. All right, so what are groups? Groups are basically you have a few objects and you want them to travel together. So, here, for example, I have two circles and I want to make this into an eye. So these two I can group together and call that an eye. I can rename the group, and you can see inside I have these two layers. So I made that, but now let's say I want to make an eyelash. So I will use the line tool and I'll just make some quick eyelashes. I know they won't be pretty, but you get the point. Oh, great, so we have this beautiful eyelash. So now I have these 4 lines. So I want to make those the eyelash. So I'll group those lines. I'll call it eyelash. Now if we zoom in, we can see there's some overlap here. So I actually want to move the eyelash behind the eye. So what I can do is just move it like any other layer. Now it's behind. Easy. So it has the eyelash and the eye. And now I'm going to put them on a big face. So we're going to make a bigger shape. Now you see it's in front of everything, so we'll move it back. And I'll make it a little bigger to accommodate our big eye. And I'll give it a nice color. Wow, it's an orange face. Alright, so I want to move this eye. Oh, whoops. These two are independent. Well, like I said, groups are good for moving together. So I'm going to select both groups, and I'm going to group those. So you can actually group groups. Nested groups, we call them. So that's very handy. So now I'll move the eye, and I place it here. Alright, so I'm looking at these eyelashes, and they're a little uneven. I want to fix them. So I want to get to this eyelash right here. So in order to do that, I can either open this up and kind of find my way to it. Where is it? Here we go. And I can click that and I have it. Or I can hold Command and click directly on the object I want to grab. Now I have it directly so I can manipulate it like normal. And so groups are very handy in this way. You can put things together, but you can still edit them independently. It's very helpful. So as you can see, you have groups with many objects. You can move the objects, the ordering of them within the group. You can even move to front and move to back. When you're adjusting the arrangement of layers in a group, they'll never leave the group they're in. And that's just good to know. So another thing with groups is you can edit some attributes for the entire group. So here you see position, size, transform. If I'm resizing this group, it resizes everything together. I can edit the opacity together. I'm going to undo both of those things. You can also add a shadow. So this is helpful because it puts a shadow around the group rather than the independent objects. For example, if I wanted to put a shadow on just the eye group and not the eyelashes, I could turn off that shadow, put it on here. Oops. So now you see it's the shadow just on the eye. Whoops. So let's say I don't want it on the eye, but I want it on the pupil. So I can do that here. But then maybe I also want it on the whole thing. I can do that here. So you can see how putting a shadow on a group versus an individual object can give different results. Alright. So now you see how groups work, and I'm just going to show you real quick how it can make your design easier to work with. So here we have an eye and a face. And if we didn't have these groups, we'd have to select each of these individual eyelashes in each part of the eye and then copy them over to another place. But instead, we can just grab the group here, and you can click it, and then you're going to copy the group, and You can do that either by copying with Command C and then pasting with Command V. Now we have 2. Or you can do Command D, which duplicates. So now we have 2. Or, well, it looks like I copied that a few too many times. Or you can click, hold Option while you're clicking, and drag, and then let go of the mouse. And that will duplicate your group. This also works with any other type of object in Sketch, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier, but now you know. So you can see I just copied this whole group, and I got this whole eye with an eyelash on this face. So all that's left is we draw a nice smile. And we'll increase the thickness and give it a nice darker color. Hey, we got a nice happy face. And that is how you work with groups. Now it's all grouped together in a face. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or want to clarify, feel free to ask in the comments. And check out sketchdatastudio.com and definitely subscribe to the Sketch Data Studio channel. Thank you.